Daring Boko Haram terrorists ban movement of farm produce with trucks in Niger State. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. The jihadists also collect levies to grant farmers access to their farms. Militants from the Islamic State-backed faction of Boko Haram, the Islamic State West Africa Province (ISWAP), formerly known as Jamaat al-Sunnah li-Dawah wal-Jihad, have banned transportation of farm produce with trucks in Bana, Kwapena, Ongowan Madaki, Kopa, and Kurebe communities in the Shirero local government area of Niger State. Such audacity. You know, I don't blame people who come out to always say that during this, this insecurity phase in Nigeria that has lasted more than 10 years now, if I'm not mistaken, or 10 years. And they come out to say that we now have two governments. One is the Buhari's government and one is the bandits' government. Because I do not understand what is giving these people this audacity to do so. But me, I'll tell you that I understand it. It is high time we'll ask these people to point, or not even to point, to prosecute people who they said that they were the financiers of terrorism in Nigeria. About last year, early last year, in the Q1 of last year, they came out, the federal government came out and they actually said that, that they had the names and list of the financiers and sponsors of Boko Haram. And, Nigeria, before we jubilated and say, okay, at least this one will help. This one will actually help. But all of a sudden, our excitement vanished away because, week after week, month after month, we did not hear anything about this particular list. They did not tell us to say, this is actually going on. They did nothing about it. It was just as if they just, when you want somebody to give you attention, you just come and say, I have this thing for you. And the person starts following you around. That is just it. And in doing this, they are kind of wasting our resources. Yes, I know you might not agree with me. It is not by buying the most expensive arms and ammunition. It is not by buying the most current arms and ammunition. It is not by wasting our resources. No, it is not. Yes, arms and ammunition, don't get me wrong, they're actually good. But I think what will be actually wonderful is that these terrorists now, their sponsors and their financiers now, that the federal government said they have found out, is to cut these people away from, when you are doing something and, for instance, now you're a child and you misbehave, and maybe because you misbehave in school, and maybe because your parent or your mom or your dad owns the school, you kind of misbehave. But when they change it, maybe your mom is the manager of a school. When she's changed, things change. When she's changed, the privileges you get as becoming the person who oversees the son or daughter of the person who oversees the activities in the school, it changes because another government is there. What am I trying to say? And all those things you have to do, your parents will even call you and tell you, it is no longer business as usual. Things are no longer going to be how it's supposed to be. How it used to be. You have to, you have to shape yourself to start doing some things. And maybe you're one of a kind of a student. I'm just saying that you don't study. You have to start studying because the school, maybe that school, they have a very high moral standard. You cannot do what they call exam malpractice. So I'm just using this as a scenario. It is going to make you, that's your kind of lifestyle you were living before. That kind of you saying, after all, my mom, if you do anything to me, I can do whatever I like. My mom is the manager of the school. You will not have it. When you have separated the person, these people from, their sponsors and financiers, then you can now deal with them mercilessly. It is going to be it's going to be making the job easier for the Nigerian army. Instead of you buying arms and ammunition, they are still getting support from their sponsors. They are getting huge support in terms of monetary, in any way at all. So these people will come out and do things, and that is what they are doing. Imagine me, in my own house, in my own house in Niger State, in my own community, as in that place is my place, as in that is where I call home. I cannot do what I'm supposed to do because some group of people, just because they are armed, they are not permitting me to do what I'm supposed to do. And I'm an indigene of that place. How painful can this be? And to even worsen the situation, if I say, oh, because of this, I want to start carrying arms around to defend myself, the government sees me as a criminal. Meanwhile, these people roam freely. That is where I say they are just wasting our resources. They're wasting the time, what they say, busy doing nothing. That is what the government is doing on the security matter. If they really want to hit the bull's eye, they should do what? They should ensure that the sponsors and financiers, we don't even care to know anymore, because we know that if you tell them to call it now, it is very possible they're going to include, or they're going to remove the real terrorists, the real sponsors of terrorists, and they're going to put in their political enemies there. It is very, very, very possible. So we don't even want to hear the list. Prosecute these people. Cut them off away from these people. Let these people be alone totally. And when it comes to this particular insecurity, how these people get their arms, I'm still asking that question. Where do they get the arms from? Let's, say for instance, they're able to smuggle the money in cash. Because I don't want to believe that, there are transactions that are not being traced. Since transfer, and all these e-money platforms, they're going to be tracing they're going to be able to trace the money. What of the physical cash? Let's say they're not going to be able to trace them, that the physical cash leaves, and when it comes back in forms of arms and ammunition, do you want to tell me that they have been sending arms, into this country for quite some time and nobody is aware? They should check all these things out. The earlier the government decides to end this insecurity, the better for everyone. Because if they do not decide and they come out today and they tell you, oh, the latest even being on ground is about over 200 people that were murdered in Zamfara State. And do you know what they told them? They told them to be patient. Really. They killed over 200 persons, not animals, not goats, not rats, not cows, human beings. And the government came out and said they should be patient. And I'm saying, how? For how long? Let's find out more about this. According to FIG, the jihadists also collect levies to grant farmers access to their farms. They would extort millions of naira from us with an agreement that they will not encroach on our farms again, but they will come back. This always comes when the farmers want to cultivate. They will divide our farm produce and give us little to take home. Let us say out of 100 bags of maize, the gun-wielding fighters will decide to leave the owner 20 bags after strenuous negotiations. A source disclosed. The terrorists who were against the use of trucks to transport farm produce called it greed. Don't be greedy. Come with your motorcycles, not a four-wheel vehicle, to get a portion of your crops. Some villagers quoted the criminals to have said. Imagine the audacity. On this note, we've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. And until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.